up, guys? Keith Jameson, go by Gator Guy 231 across the DFS industry, here to break down five slates of soccer action on DraftKings today. 4 showdowns, 1 classic slate. We're going to just do a high-level overview of all of them. I'm going to be using the article on, or I guess my post on dfssoccer.com has the cheat sheets with odds, total set takers for every game, as well as some predicted lineups. So we're just going to jump right over there. If you do want to join for core picks and chat throughout the day, we do have options, $5 a week right now that will be going up once EPL starts. So get in now if you want to just kind of test it out. The next month and a half, 2 months of soccer is going to be intense. So we'd love to see you join. If not, and you're just enjoying the videos, I'm still going to have a ton of these out. I don't know exactly what the schedule will look like with everything, but I promise you there will be lots out there. So let's just jump into the game. So we have 4 showdowns for this slate, and then 1 classic. So the classic is Getafe and Granada with Levante and Valencia. So that's your classic, and each one of these is a separate showdown. So let's start with Getafe versus Granada. So Getafe is known as the team that kind of is the master of the dark arts, is what I heard one analyst say, and I loved that saying. They love to time waste. They love to foul. They love to do whatever they can to shorten games, especially versus the bigger clubs. Maybe not so much versus Granada, just because they're a low-budget team. They don't have a ton of star power, so it just helps them level the playing field. So Suarez and Koo Karela are by far their 2 most DFS-friendly teams. Their other main guy was Mata. He's out. So these are going to be your first 2 building blocks in that showdown. It's really tough in Classic to play both of them. I'll kind of touch on that at the very end. On the other side, Darwin Mathias, if he's been taking almost all their set pieces. He's expensive as heck, but is by far the best Granada exposure. Vidillo, if he's in, he hasn't been playing much, but he actually will jump on sets above Marcus. Vico, he took a few corners the last game with but Marcus came in and took over him. And then Diaz, so if he's playing out wide as a wingback or a fullback, a really nice player. Actually take some corners. Their corners are a mess, and this is La Liga too, so there's not a ton of corners. But he does have open play value. If you see him in the back 3, though, he's overpriced for that position, and it's tough to build. So for that first showdown, Suarez, Koo Karela, plug them in, go from there. If Marcus is in, that's probably your 3rd play, but it will make the building tight. But that's that showdown slate. 1.75 totals. Goalie's very, very much in play. Defender equity for the clean sheet is there as well. So Bundesliga, I was really hoping that DK would still kind of pump out a 2,500 person or 3,000 person main GPP, but it died down, and maybe that's a sign of things to come. It's still a solid prize pool. There's still lots of attack, and it's a good game. It's going to be a lot of scoring versus Leipzig and Hoffenheim. So Leipzig is the overwhelming favorite at -245. So as we've seen, they're so last game, I just think is important to know. They got an early red card for Upacumbo, really screwed up everything. So when you look at Angelino's log, you really need to toss out last week. He was having to play very defensive the whole game down a man. So it's his first bad game. He wasn't able to bomb up. I think as long as they don't go down a man here, if he's in, he immediately will come up and be an attacking piece. I guess here was, by the way, if you go on the site, Granada versus Getafe, it's a random formation that I found online. I think it's pretty accurate. Let's go to this. Yeah, here we go. Here's Germany. So if this ends up being the way Jose Angel, that's Angelino. But if he plays as a wing back, I think that is just an easy lock. Probably he and Werner would be our first to win. So really interesting tidbit. The last time these 2 teams play, Werner absolutely dominated the game. I'm pulling up the stats here real quick, but he had 7 shots on goal, 9 shots in total, including a PK win that he converted, 2 goals. So just an absolutely massive game. They had no idea what to do with him. And it is interesting. He played with Schick in that game in a partnership, not Poulsen. So I think Timo Werner, a most owned player on the slate. So I think go Angelino, Werner, and probably Nkuku is going to be on most people's start. Nkuku splits the sets with Angelino. Then you go from there. If Mukiele is playing wingback, I think that's fine. Skav will be a really interesting decision point. I think if you see Skav without Rudy, you probably just still try to go there. I think you can build with him. But if you see Skav and Rudy, paying that high price point for Skav as a dog is tough. So, watch these two. If they're in, it's a split, and Skav just really becomes dependent on getting a goal or assist to really pay off his salary. The one value play I just want to mention from Hoffenheim, Grilic is way down there. I think he's 3,200. Makes a lot of builds fit, and he's just a really nice player. So I do think that I would probably prefer to play him over like Wooly Orban. Is probably going to be in for Upacumbo. I just think you have more upside here. The third game on the slate is Coppa Italia, which I have not been able to find logs for, so I'm going to go back up here. So Juve should really dominate this game. I really don't trust Milan at all coming back from the break. They just have not been a disciplined team all season. They really started to turn it on at the end, but I don't know if I trust them after the break. So I do think that Juve really is going to dominate the game. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is the easiest play on this slate. He's probably your captain. Even though he doesn't take corners, it's just his shot floor is insane. And if there's going to be a goal notification, you expect it to come from him. If Dybala is in, he's probably your second play. If not, it would probably be Douglas Costa in, and he'd go in. Alex Sandro, I remember, is priced way down. He's a really nice left back for Juve. And then if Pjanic is in, he always takes some corners, but he plays very, very centrally. Has a floor, but it's a low floor. It's like 4 to 60K. But super, super high quality player. If you see him like without Costa or Dybala, I don't know what situation that happened, but you could probably bump up his corner volume. But I think most of your builds are going to be on the Juve side. Figure out your Juve pieces, see what Milan fits. So Milan's logs, just so you guys know, like they did not put the Serie A logs on DK. They put the Coppa Italia only. So it's really, really misleading. But the sets are Calhanoglu and Castillejo. They split those evenly if they're both in. And then I've seen like I can't remember his name offhand, but there's a central midfielder that comes in every once in a while and takes some. But I think the actual just like pure best floor for the price on the slate for them is Theo Hernandez, left back, former Madrid guy. He just always seems to come through. So your build, like if you go like a 5-1 and it's just Theo and you go, well, do I need some of these overpriced Milan sets? The answer is no, in my opinion. Final showdown on the slate of the day is going to be Valencia versus Levante. So Valencia, the first piece in is easy. Danny Parejo takes a monopoly of their sets, also takes their PKs. So he is your top building block for them and probably your captain choice if you can get there. Let's go back down to their lineup so I can just kind of go over a little bit more. So he does play centrally, so a lot of his DFS volume is because of the sets. Carlos Soler is really, really underpriced on the Classic and the Showdown slate. So even when he's wide, he's more of a central midfielder. So just understand he allows Gaia to come up and attack more and get width because he's not a guy that's out here going to be pumping in crosses. There's a good chance that this is actually Ferran Torres, who loves to cross the ball, really active, talented winger for them. So I would like to see him, and that's a really nice play. Here they have Guedes predicted. Fine play. He's forward eligible for the Classic slate, which helps, but just like not a high volume crosser. On Classic and probably also on Showdown, you probably are going to be looking at one of these strikers. I've always been a Rodrigo fan over Camero. But understand, like anytime you see two striker sets, it's just a lot tougher to maybe predict the goals. But I do think Rodrigo, despite the logs, is the better player. Florenzi's been terrible for them since coming over from Roma. He is a guy, though, that does possess the ability to cross. It just hasn't been for them. It would be Florenzi or Was over here. Gaia, a really nice player, does cross the ball a lot for a fullback without sets. So I think he works. On the other side, Campana, most of the time, takes almost all of the Levante sets. Valencia is by no means like a powerhouse team that Levante is not going to have the ball at all. So I think he's fine. I haven't fooled with builds a ton over here just because of slate fatigue with all of them. But he would probably be the top option from Levante. Morales sometimes can split sets, also takes PKs for them. Just always been kind of like their like top guy for years. Bardhai, nice player as well, can sometimes also split some sets. So there's a there's a lot of sets kind of going around there, but Campana will take most of them. I think that will kind of do it for that slate. For Classic, I'll just tell you guys, Classic, I'm just going to go back up here. It's really brutal. I think Parejo, with Valencia being the top total and the biggest favorite, is probably the first guy in. He's expensive. And then forward's just a wasteland. So Mathias is the most expensive player on the slate. He has the best floor at the forward position, but just if you put him and Parejo in, your builds get restricted really quick. So I think where I've gone personally is Parejo, the first guy in. The second one actually being Soler, because he's only 3,700 for Valencia. Even if he does play centrally, I think it's fine. You need some value. And then picking Suarez and Koo Karela. I would 100% want to have one of the two of them in. They've been splitting sets recently. Suarez still takes more, but Koo Karela has a ton of open play value. If you look at his game logs recently, the last 4 or 5, his floor has just been insane. He has a couple 20-point DK games without a goal or assist. So I personally prefer Koo Karela. So my first 2 guys in, Parejo, Koo Karela, and then third one in is Soler for the Classic slate. Hope this helps. Hope you guys enjoy all the soccer today. It should be a fun day of DFS action. Once again, make sure to hit subscribe. I didn't mention that already. Reward us for all of the awesome content that our team has been putting out. And then if you want some extra help with soccer, please feel free to join. Once again, fsidfs.com. Thanks so much for watching. Good luck today.